We heard a lot about IQ. IQ. We've been always looking for the smartest people in the room so they can crack down any particular problem and solve. But last few years we've been talking about EQ, it's called emotional intelligence. So why you should be investing on training program for EQ for your team, even you are a CEO or you are a director or you are an HR manager or you have a team or you're an entrepreneur. Why the EQ is so much important in the present era of 2020s? Because it's in this video I'm going to explain to you, and I will also explain to you that will how you justify your return of investment of having a proper training program for your team on EQ. CEO, you need to understand what is most important to you. So, and because your importance set a tone for the whole company, the way you visualize your company, the way you show your vision, and that will reflect a lot of people in your company. Even the way you change a particular strategy, that's really going to affect a lot of executive directly who are reporting to you, and their direct reports and the direct reports and the direct reports based on the size of the company. So that's why you need to be really learn about how to use emotional intelligence, because if you don't know how to do the right emotional intelligence, you will be losing a lot of people contributing with you as a team. When you are a CEO, you need a team who can listen to you and you can listen to them and work together, not because they like you or they're fearful about you, but they see it's a great value for the company. And to create that momentum, you really need to understand when you are giving someone how they are looking into it and how they are looking to, and that will really help you to bring the right people to your executive team as well too, and then you can able to go together and really execute into it. Because that is like somebody could be very amazing, but somebody couldn't really just simply fit to your team when you have the right EQ skills. Number two, when the executive become a manager. So what is the difference between an executive and manager? So in our company, what do we do actually? The people who really perform the best, we promote them, we make them a manager, right? So, but the thing is, when somebody is an executive level, their main mission is to do their job at the best, and they do, and that's why they can create the best result and company get them promoted. But the problem is when they start to become a manager and they already know how to do the job better, but now their responsibility to take care of a particular team so they can help everyone to get their team doing the great job and met the right expectation around it too. So to do that one, a manager or a director or newly manager significantly needed the skill set of EQ, because when they have that manager has the EQ, they can easily feel the situation of the team and the emotions of each of the team members. They can support them and guide them and do the right decisions in people development and people investment, so they can go on and can have a much more or higher probability to become successful. Number three, manager to the leaderships. Because when somebody is a manager, or if you're having a manager level thing where people just tell other people what to do rather than thinking about a real life discretions, which is like a leaderships. So there's a big difference between the management culture and leadership cultures. So when you really want to cultivate something really leadership culture in your company, you really need to train all the company team peoples, all the teams about EQ. Because if you really want to create a leadership culture, you need to do this training program. Otherwise, your exercise, your all other things, tools, other training you will do, but end of the day, because of the EQ, they will all struggle to execute, and that will not be generate the values you should deserve. Number four, the C-suite executives. They are the business leaders, right? They are in the top of the organization working with all CEOs. So they are the main person who actually directly take the heat. So it's like example, you are next to the sun, you are getting the most amount of heat. So after getting such kind of heat or such kind of instruction, your mission is about absorb it, process it, and then as a C-suite executive is to transit to the organization in a correct way. So if you train them in the right EQ skill, the transition of absorbing and then transmit to the rest of the organization will be much more effective and intelligently done, so that will not hurt the overall the company progress and the people's and their mindset and motivations, and keep the moral and company get forward for biggest success. So number 5 is also about the directors. That means who are the direct reports who are directing to reporting to the C-suite executives. So they are the first line of after C-suite executive, right? C-suite executives, you are always been stressed out because you've been getting big problems of the company, you're getting all the new kind of strategy coming into it. But when it comes to director level, that means they start to break your strategies, they start to break down your overall views to their own thing. Like an example, you're trying to achieve a particular revenue. And with that one, now IT director, finance manager, finance director, HR director got a piece of it. So that transition of piecing of that one, they need to understand by using the conversation with the C-suite executive. And at the same time, when there's a particular piece into it, often they don't see the whole thing because they don't own it. And most of the time, the CEO actually don't have time, or C-suite board actually don't have the time to explain all of it. So as a director, if they've been well trained about EQ, they will be able to see and imagine a big pictures, and they can easily manage the emotions of the people under them who are like senior manager level, so they can actually drive initiative forward. So it is actually a great supporting tool for director level to take their initiative forward and become successful, because in the end of the day, company is a series of success, right? If the executive is successful, manager is successful. Manager is successful means director is successful. Director is successful means C-suite is successful. If the C-suite is successful means company is successful. So here's the point: you establish your company, and you're recruiting people who already have a team. Do not hesitate to invest on EQ training for your team, and that will be a great return of investment, like I mentioned in this 5 point, that will help you to take your business forward. And that's exactly why you establish the company. And I would like to say all the best.